Good morning. Welcome to our absolutely wonderful Wednesday. Let's take our day forward by manifesting, by dreaming. So let's start our day. All right, then. How wonderful. Let's start our morning. I like a volunteer today as well. So we'll start our morning with creative visualization and we'll take our journey forward as to what are we understanding. And today is very beautiful. It's about contacting about our higher selves. So let's understand. So all of us are aware by now that higher self is equal to your Atma, is equal to your soul. So how do you connect with this? Of course, how to connect with this is already coming as part of your, it's coming part of your unified also. But let's understand the science here. Can anyone raise a hand? Yes. Thank you, Pratima ji. Please read.
Contacting your higher self. One of the most important steps in making your creative visualization work effectively and successfully is to have the feeling of being connected with your inner spiritual source. Your spiritual source is the supply of infinite love, wisdom, and energy in the universe. For you, source may mean God, goddesses, universal intelligence, the great spirit, the higher power, or your true essence. However we conceptualize it, it can be found here and now within each of us in our inner beings. You can think of contacting your source as connecting with your higher self, the wise being who dwells within you. Being in contact with your higher self is characterized by a deep sense of knowingness and certainty of power, love, and wisdom. You know that you are creating your own experience of life and that you have the power to create the experiences most important and necessary for your own learning process.
Now, all of us, जब difficulty आती है, problem आती है, या तो भगवान का नाम याद करते हैं, ऊपर वाले का, highest source, whatever, हमने कभी realize नहीं किया कि हम सब अपनी आत्मा के थ्रू चैनल कर रहे हैं. अगर आत्मा नहीं होगी तो आप और मैं एग्जिस्ट भी नहीं करेंगे, राइट? द फर्स्ट थिंग प्राण हटते हैं, आत्मा निकलती है तो प्राण हटते हैं. सो our आत्मा is also a higher self. वो जितनी जागती, it's got everything. We've also talked about the power that our atma, our soul, is coming with our subconscious mind. Whatever life you've lived, wherever you've lived life on life, it's coming with that experience, with subconscious mind. So it knows everything about you. सबसे wisest है because आपको अपनी life के बारे में इतना पता है, उसको इतना सारा पता है. So it's very important to connect into that, to ask for surety, certainty, that, are you being wise or not? How do we do this? Let's go further.
We have all had experiences of being connected with our higher selves, although we may not have conceptualized it in that way. Feeling exceptionally high, clear, strong, on top of the world, or able to move mountains are indications of being connected with your higher self. So is the experience of falling in love, when you feel wonderful about yourself and the world because you're loved. When you feel wonderful about yourself and the world because your love for another human being is causing you to connect with your higher self. When you first become consciously aware of the experience of your higher self, you will find that it seems to come and go rather sporadically. At one moment, you may be feeling strong, clear, and creative. The next moment, you may be thrown back into confusion and insecurity. This seems to be a natural part of the process. Once you are aware of your higher self, you can call on it whenever you need it. And gradually, you will find that it is with you more and more of the time. The
Okay,
connection between.
so now what is happening? जब हम बहुत ले होते लाइफ में ये मैं तो कर ही सकता हूँ. This is possible. It's 100% possible and I can do it and I will do it. That means that is a time when our higher self is guiding us. Come on, do it. You can do it. Because higher self is all about love and light. It's all about certainty. It's all about positivity. It's all about moving in the right direction. When you're in love with a child, you're in love with a partner, you're in love with anybody, you're also in the world of love and light because that's what your higher self is guiding you, because that's what your sense is. Whenever you have confusion, insecurity, your higher self is sidelined right now. But it is also part of a process. Having uninvited influences is also part of a process. Those of us who are unified probably have met our higher self. But certain कैसे होना है, confusion कैसे हटानी, ये भी हमारे आगे studies में आने वाला है. The minute we are aware of a higher self, हम कभी भी उसको बुला सकते हैं, आंसर ले सकते हैं, पूछ सकते हैं, and it's going to be amazing. Now let's go for this two-way channel connection. Yes, please.
The connection between your personality and your higher self is a two-way channel, and it's important to develop the flow in both directions. Receptive. When you quiet your personality during meditation and come into a being space, you open the channel for higher wisdom and guidance to come to you through your intuitive mind. You can ask questions and wait for answers to come to you through words, mental images, or feeling impressions. Active. When you are experiencing yourself as the co-creator of your life, you make choices about what you desire to create and channel the infinite energy, power, and wisdom of your higher self into manifesting your choices through active visualization and affirmation. When the channel is flowing freely in both directions, you are being guided by your higher wisdom, and based on that guidance, you are making choices and creating your world in the highest, most beautiful way.
So very important is to accept, to be open. If we want our communication with the higher self to be crystal clear, then we have to have an energy flowing. If you have to have your energy flowing, you must remember that all of us need to be receptive. We have to go in a quiet phase and ask our higher self, block your aura, your energy, and then ask your higher self, that am I in touch with you? Give me a signal. That's all going to happen in Unified Ani Wala journey. So you'll really enjoy it. And then when you get a direct message, a image दिख गया, messages मिल गया, सुन लिया, whatever's coming, you're manifesting your choices. You're manifesting your desires by being in alignment. अगर जो आपको दिख गया, आपने उसको follow कर लिया, you're on the right track in the right place. That's when it's a two-way traffic. जो आ रहा है वो जा रहा है. Because it's very important for us to understand. सिर्फ मांगने से मिलता है, but उसको समझने से आगे बढ़ाने से तो और मिलेगा. So guidance को हम कैसे लेकर जा रहे हैं? जो हमें मिली है उसको हम आगे कर रहे हैं या हम फिर अपने माइंड से काम कर रहे हैं? Now that is what is very important. Yes, let's read further.
Almost any form of meditation will eventually take you to an experience of your spiritual source or your higher self. If you're not sure of what this experience feels like, don't worry about it. Just continue to practice your relaxation, visualization, and affirmation. Eventually, you will start experiencing certain moments during your meditations when there is a sort of click in your consciousness and you feel like things are really working. You may even experience a lot of energy flowing through you or a warm, radiant glow in your body. These are signs that you're beginning to channel the energy of your higher self.
So when that will happen, you'll realize you have a nice feeling. You're like, there's warm, there's a feeling of movement. That is when you're actually following in line with your higher self. Now, what do we do right now? So those of you who want, we can do this actually maybe in the end. It'll be nice to lie down in the end and do this. So Pratima ji, you can avoid reading this page completely because this will be kind of a
Okay.
meditation and we'll do this in the
Fine.
end. So let's turn the page also. Now, हमने contact कर लिया higher self को. ठीक है? Everything is done. We are sorted. We will even go for the meditation. Now, how do we in life, how do we go with the flow? How do we become like water? And पानी आता है अपने आप बहता है. It's not like you can tell it to go here or there. आपने ऐसे हिलाया तो वैसे बह जाएगा. ऐसे हिलाया तो ऐसे बह जाएगा. How do we all go with that? Let's understand that. बहुत important है. When we go with the flow, then there's nothing called a retaliation, rebel, or there's nothing called resistance. Resistance is the killer of all manifestation. जहाँ resistance है वहाँ manifestation नहीं है. जहाँ आपका surrender है, moving with the flow है, वहाँ manifestation है. So let's emphasize this particular fact about us. Let's continue.
Going with the flow. The only effective way to use creative visualization is in the spirit of the way of the Tao, going with the flow. That means that you don't have to exert effort to get where you want to go. You simply keep clearing in mind where you would like to go, and then patiently and harmoniously follow the flow of the river of life until it takes you there. The river of life sometimes takes a winding course towards your goal. It may even seem temporarily to be going in a different direction entirely. Yet, in the long run, it is a more effortless and harmonious way to get there than through struggling and striving. Going with the flow means holding on to your goals lightly, even though they may seem very important, and being willing to change them if something more appropriate and satisfying comes along.
So what do we understand with going with the flow? That all of us are easily bendable. All of us are not stagnant. All of us are not stuck. हम अपने ड्रीम से इतने अटैच हो जाते हैं that we become stuck. होना ही होना चाहिए, होना ही होना चाहिए. Or this or something highest better will unfold for the highest good of me and all concerned. जहां ये लाइन बोल दी, वहां we are not resisting. कुछ change आए, तब्दीली आए, आपका ड्रीम भी हल्का सा बदल गया. How does it matter? Because I'm willing to change. Maybe that is more appropriate. Maybe that is where satisfaction comes more. When I understand that, I'm actually going with the flow. Let's read further.
It is that balance between keeping your destination clearly in mind and yet enjoying all the beautiful scenes you encounter along the way, and even being willing to change your destination if life starts taking you in a different direction. In short, it means being firm yet flexible. If you have a lot of heavy emotions riding on whether you attain your goal, that is, if you will be very upset if you don't get what you want, you will tend to work against yourself. In your fear of not getting what you want, you may actually be energizing the idea of not getting it as much or more as you are energizing the goal itself. If you do find yourself very emotionally attached to a goal, it may be the most effective and appropriate to work first on your feelings about the matter. You may have to take a good look at what you fear about not achieving the goal and do affirmations to help you feel more confident and secure, or to help you face your fears.
So जब हम लोग को अपने ड्रीम से बहुत अटैचमेंट हो जाती है, बहुत important है that we let go. Now, when we let go, it's extremely important to understand why do we let go. So that, there's no longer that crazy, because there's a very thin line between frustration, desperation, and actually achieving. So we finish that frustration, desperation by letting go. More about letting go will come in a book that we will start very soon. But right now, let's understand. If we are emotionally attached and yet there's resistance, we must again look at our goal and then see the resistance kahan pe body mein kya aa raha hai, which is not conducive to our dream. Understand that, accept that, and add affirmations. Now, how do we do this? Can anyone tell me? How else can we add this particular exercise with our accepting of this? How do we understand that? What do we do? क्या है जो हमने नया सीखा है जो क्रिएटिव विजुअलाइजेशन के साथ ऐड कर सकते हैं? नो आंसर्स फ्रॉम एनीवन? वी नॉट क्लियर हमें क्या करना चाहिए? पहले हमको समझना है उस बात को, फिर हमको उसको क्लियर करना है, समझ के क्लियर करना है, एंड उस पे एफर्मेशन ऐड करनी है. Nobody knows? Kamakshi, Vijayji, nobody knows? I'm surprised. I can't go forward if you don't know. No, you don't have to raise your hand. Use the chat box. No, affirmation is fine. What process do we use? No, what process do we use, guys? What are you learning every day? Yes, Kamakshi. I'm surprised nobody said tapping. Somebody saying flowing, somebody saying writing, somebody saying surrendering. What about tapping? जब आप बहुत अटैच हो जाते हैं, what are we all coming in the sessions for if we can't imply this? पीना जी, I'm very upset. सिर्फ सुनने के लिए आ रहे हो आप लोग? I'm sorry, that's not the way it works. You've got to be in the moment. You've got to understand this. This is not a generic philosophy class. It's an implementation class. It's a workshop. You have to work on it. So whenever you're very attached with your dreams and you have some resistance also, you tap into your energy, you find out, okay, where is my resistance? Then you accept it, and then you tap affirmations into yourself. For example, the universe is unfolding perfectly. I don't have to hang on. I can relax and let go. So now this Shakti gives says, I don't have to hang on. But what will we say? We don't use the word don't. What do we say? I will flow. Hang on, matlab static energy ho gayi, right? I'm going to flow. I can relax and let go. I can go with the flow. I always have everything I need. I have all the love I need within my own heart. Very important for all of us to understand that we have to clear our energy. We have to move forward. I'm a loving and lovable person. I'm whole in myself. Divine love is guiding me, and I am always taken care of. The universe always provides. For everyone who I tested today, that I said and I asked a question. आप लोगों में इतना resistance है कि wrong answer आ जाए तो it's not, you want to be right all the time. No. I'm proud of Anita and Meenakshi and Kamakshi and Vijayji and everyone, Jitendraji, that, at least you attempted. Right ho, wrong ho, doesn't matter. Attempt to kiya. आधे लोग तो सोचते ही रहते हैं, टाइप ही नहीं करते हैं. That's not the way we progress in life, my dear friends. We're a Sangha together, growing. So let's be sure that clearing processes with tapping is one of the most important science we've learned. जब तक हम सारे कोर्सेज करिकुलम में जो पढ़ा है उसको इंटरटवाइन नहीं कर लेंगे, तब तक हम लाइफ में आगे अपने ड्रीम्स को पूरा नहीं कर पाएंगे. कर पाओगे बट बहुत धीरे से. अभी गति बढ़ा रहे हैं because we're learning such beautiful sciences. Yes, Pratima ji, please continue.
You may find some of the clearing processes I give later helpful. And I'll refer to you my recommended reading list for books that may offer help and insight. Of course, it's preferably okay to creatively visualize something to which you have a lot of emotional attachment. And it will often work quite well. But if it doesn't, realize that you may be attempting to visualize something out of fear of what may happen if you don't get it. In this case, it's important to relax and accept your feelings, accept the idea that you may not immediately realize your goal, Look more deeply into your fears and understand that resolving the conflict is probably an important area of growth for you and a wonderful opportunity get to know yourself on a deeper level. At any time while doing creative visualization, if you get a feeling that you are trying to force or push something that doesn't want to happen, back off a little and ask your higher self whether or not this is really the best thing for you or whether or not you truly desire it. You may not yet be truly ready for it, or the universe may be trying to show you something better than you haven't yet even considered.
Very important for us to understand that kabhi resistance ho, so back off. Look at yourselves from an outer perspective. Do I really want it? Do I really want it, or does the world want that? And that's why I want it. क्यों नहीं हो रहा है? Because मैं नहीं चाह रही हूँ. क्या मेरी true desire है या मैं सिर्फ बोल रही हूँ? Very, very, very important to understand this. There's a short story that Pratima ji will now read. It'll give you clarity on what we're talking about. Yes, please.
A man recently told me this story. A few years ago, he was trying to make it as a stand-up comedian. He bought this book and tried to visualize himself as a successful comedian. Trying as he might, he simply couldn't get a clear picture or feeling of this happening. He took this as a message to re-examine his goals. After much soul searching, he returned to school and became a minister and psychotherapist, which he loves. Now he is also a talk show host on a popular national television show which focuses on the metaphysical and paranormal phenomena. This unusual combination of careers suits him perfectly. In this case, not being able to visualize what he thought he wanted helped him find a whole new direction in his life. This story is also good as example of how we may not know exactly what we want. We have to keep allowing the process to
Very
unfold.
important to allow the process of life to unfold. आज मैं कुछ चाह रही हूँ मेरे हिसाब से बेस्ट चीज है मेरे लिए पर एक्चुअली बेस्ट है कि नहीं जो मैं चाह रही हूँ क्यों नहीं हो रहा बिकॉज मेरे लिए वो ट्रू है ही नहीं physically I want it but spiritually it's known that it's not going to do any good for me so it will not manifest. So when we go with the flow, when we allow ourselves to flow, then we might get some other message and we go some other direction. Soul searching is important. Analysis, questioning is important. Prashnev bhav is important. नहीं तो हम stuck हो जाएंगे अपनी energy में. Yeah? Get that very clear. Let's go to the next chapter. It's called prosperity.
Prosperity. A very important part of the whole creative visualization process is developing a sense of prosperity. This means having the understanding or consciously taking the point of view that the universe is abundant, that life is actually trying to bring us what our hearts and souls truly desire, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, as well as physically. Almost everything you truly need or want is here for the asking. You only need to believe that it is so truly desired and be willing to accept it. One of the most common causes of failure when seeking what you want is scarcity programming. This is an attitude or set of beliefs about life that goes something
Before we
like
understand this, in our manifestation classes, what have we learned? That if there is a coherence between our mind and our heart, whatever we want comes true. And for this, we have to have a clear intention and sankalp. Ask, believe, and receive. हम मांगेंगे नहीं और believe नहीं करेंगे तो मिलेगा कैसे? We have to understand कि हम consciously decision ले रहे हैं. We have to understand दुनिया में मदर अर्थ पे इतना सारा पानी है, इतना सारा खाना है, इतना पैसा है. जो ट्यून इन करता है उस एनर्जी में उसको मिलता है. जो नहीं ट्यून करता उसको नहीं मिलता. क्यों नहीं ट्यून करता? क्योंकि उसकी ट्यूनिंग कैसी है, उसकी प्रोग्रामिंग कैसी है? पॉवर्टी प्रोग्रामिंग. स्कैसिटी प्रोग्रामिंग, अरे इतना ही है ना, इतना ही मिलेगा। जो लोग ऐसा बोलते हैं उनको वैसा ही मिलता है। क्यों ऐसा है कि दुनिया में इतना सारा खाना वेस्ट हो रहा है रेस्टोरेंट्स में, और दुनिया में इतने सारे लोग हैं जो भूखे मर रहे हैं? क्यों ये डिस्पैरिटी है? खाने की तो कमी नहीं है, बट आपके एटीट्यूड की कमी है। एटीट्यूड क्यों है आपका? आपके सेट ऑफ बिलीफ की वजह से है। कई लोग बोलते हैं देयर इजंट इनफ टू गो अराउंड। किसने बोल दिया ये बात? कई लोग बोलते हैं लाइफ इज सफरिंग, व्हाई डू यू हैव टू सफर एट ऑल? कई लोग बोलते हैं लाइफ इज कॉम्प्रोमाइज, व्हाई डू यू हैव टू कॉम्प्रोमाइज एट ऑल? किसने बोल दिया? बट ये सोसाइटी ने बोल दिया ना, प्रोग्रामिंग आपकी वहीं से हो गई। कई लोग बोलते हैं इमोरल सेल्फिश टू हैव इनफ व्हेन अदर पीपल डोंट हैव। अरे हम जैसे ऐसे कर रहे हैं, उनके पास नहीं। आपके पास है तो उनके लिए भी बनाओ ना, किसने मना किया? अगर आप एक महल में रह रहे हो, दूसरों के लिए घर बनाओ, किसने मना किया? लाइफ इज हार्ड, डिफिकल्ट, वेल ऑफ टीयर्स, क्यों, किसने बोल दिया? ये प्रोग्रामिंग सोसाइटी बोल बोल के हमारे अंदर फिट कर चुकी है। इसको हमें अनप्रोग्राम करना है, रीप्रोग्राम करना है अपने आप को। लोग बोलते हैं यू मस्ट रियली वर्क हार्ड एंड सैक्रिफाइस फॉर एवरीथिंग यू गेन। हु सेज? आई से वर्क स्मार्ट। व्हाई डू यू हैव टू वर्क हार्ड? हार्ड मतलब आप अपना टू मच डाल रही हो, कॉम्प्रोमाइजिंग समवेयर। फ्लो ना, एंजॉय इट। जब आप फ्लो कर रहे हो, टाइमलेसनेस आ रही हो, तो आपको हार्ड वर्क लगेगा ही नहीं। I have shared this with you पहले. There was a time I was doing a wedding card for somebody. I started working in the project at 7 o'clock in the evening. I had had my dinner by then. I have always eaten dinner early. And next morning, 9 o'clock, 14 hours I was working on a wedding card, on their concepts. I never realized कि सुबह कब हो गई. And I was fresh like anything. And Prashant said, तुम अभी तक बैठी हुई हो? I'm like, I didn't realize only. So what? I know I didn't work hard. I just flew. And then that's when timelessness happens. So please become who you have to be. That everything is available a lot. अगर business competition भी है, मेरे लिए भी बहुत है, उसके लिए भी बहुत है. Understand that. Program that about yourself. Don't go for false beliefs in your programming which you already have. Chuck it away, discard it. Yes, Pratima, you can read from these are all false beliefs.
These are all false beliefs. They are based on a lack of understanding of how the universe works or a misunderstanding of some important spiritual principles. These beliefs are not of service to you or anyone else. They simply limit all of us from realizing a natural state of prosperity and plenty on all levels. At the present time, there is a reality in this world of starvation and poverty for many people, but we do not need to keep creating and perpetuating that reality. The fact is that there is more than enough to go around for every being on earth if we are willing to open our minds to that possibility and change our ways of using and distributing the world's resources. The universe is a place of great abundance, and we are all meant to be naturally prosperous, both in material and spiritual wealth, in a way that is balanced and harmonious with one another and with the earth that nourishes us. In modern times, humankind has lost touch with its natural state of prosperity. Together, we are creating a world vastly out of balance in which a relative few have far more than they need and are using up our natural resources at an alarming rate, while the majority suffer from serious lack. We are all responsible for creating this reality, and we can change it by changing both our way of thinking and our way of living. We need to reclaim our ability to appreciate and enjoy the simple pleasures in life. Many of us in the industrialized world need to cultivate a simpler, more natural lifestyle. We need to realize that after our basic needs are met, the experience of abundance has more to do with expressing our creative gifts in satisfying ways and learning to give and receive in a balanced way than it does with extravagant consumerism.
Okay, so let's understand. If we want to change our life, we have to first start showing appreciation for everything we have right now. Chota ghar hai, to appreciate it. ज़्यादा खाना है, कम खाना है, appreciate it. Appreciate that you have so much right now. Appreciate that you have basic needs that which world doesn't have. When you start appreciating what you have right now, abundance starts coming. Now, this concept is applicable for everything, whether it's health, whether it's wealth, whether it's your spiritual learning, it's your emotional quotient. अगर आपके पास कुछ है और आप उसको कॉम्प्लीमेंट कर रहे हो, आपके पास भर भर के आएगा. और आप उसको डिस्कार्ड कर रहे हो, क्रिटिसाइज कर रहे हो, तो क्या होगा? और क्रिटिसिज्म करने के मौके आएंगे. So please be sure, what are you learning to give? What gifts are you sharing? Are you sharing the good gifts or the bad gifts? Please show and see. Let's continue.
The truth about this earth is that it is infinitely good, beautiful, nourishing place to be. The only evil comes from a lack of understanding of this truth. Evil, ignorance, is like a shadow. It has no real substance of its own. It is simply a lack of light. You cannot cause a shadow to disappear by trying to fight it, by stamping on it, by railing against it, or by any other form of emotional or physical resistance. In order to cause a shadow to disappear, you must shine light on it. Take a look at your belief system and see if you're holding yourself back by not believing sufficiently in the possibility of prosperity.
Again, let's understand. Evil कहाँ से आ रहा है? Lack of truth. Hate कहाँ से आ रही है? Lack of love. Darkness कहाँ से आ रही है? Lack of light. अगर डार्क, एक छोटी सी कैंडल, मोमबत्ती भी जला दो, लाइट जला दो, कमरे में उजाला हो जाता है. 0 वॉट का बल्ब भी लगा दो तो इट बिकम्स ब्राइट. इफ यू स्टार्ट एनालाइजिंग कि ये डार्कनेस मेरी लाइफ में क्यों आ रही है, then you must share your inner light. You must try and focus on it कि क्यों आ रहा है. Let me analyze it. Once you analyze it, you're going to be able to understand it very, very, very clear. It's very important to look at a belief system. क्या विश्वास करते हैं? अगर abundance लाइफ में नहीं आ रही, शायद हमारे पिताजी ने या माँ ने या दादाजी ने या जिसने भी बड़े सिस्टम में या बुजुर्गों ने लाइफ में बोल दिया हो, भैया इतना ही मिलेगा, जितनी चादर है उतना ही पाँव फैलाओ, या वॉट एवर. सबको नहीं मिलता है, किस्मत वालों को मिलता है. तो शायद हमें लगता है कि हम किस्मत वाले नहीं, या हम उतने ऊंची उड़ान नहीं भर सकते. बट यू आर होल्डिंग योर सेल्फ बैक अगर हम उनको विश्वास कर रहे हो, बिकॉज यूनिवर्स में बहुत है, बहुत बहुत है. अगेन मैं एग्जाम्पल अगर लेती हूँ अंबानी का, कहाँ से शुरू हुए थे, कहाँ पहुंचे, क्योंकि उनको विश्वास था अपने ऊपर. राइट? सो अगर आपको अपने ऊपर विश्वास है, अपनी लक के ऊपर विश्वास है, लक भी काम करेगी. लोग बोलते हैं इट्स ऑलवेज बाय लक फॉर मेनी पीपल. तो लक तो आप इमेजिन करोगे ना कि वो आई एम वेरी लकी, चाहे आप हो चाहे नहीं हो. बहुत चीजें तो है जहाँ आप लकी हो. सर के ऊपर छत तो है, गाड़ी तो है चलने के लिए, उधारी पे तो नहीं रह रहे हो, या रह भी रहे हो तो यू हैव मनी, तभी बोरो कर लिया ना आपने. सो प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड, वी आर गोइंग टू गो इन अ प्रॉस्पेरिटी बिलीफ. जहां हम बिलीफ अपना चेंज करेंगे वहां लाइफ बदल जाएगी. यस प्लीज, लेट्स रीड इट.
Can you actually realistically imagine yourself as a successful, satisfied, fulfilled person? Can you really open your eyes to the goodness and beauty and abundance that is all around you? Can you imagine this world transformed into a prosperous and supportive environment in which everyone can flourish? Unless you can create a context to the world is to create a context that the world is a good place to be and can potentially work for everyone, you will experience difficulty in creating what you want in your personal life. This is because human nature is basically loving, and so most of us will not allow ourselves to have what we want as long as we believe that we might be depriving others in order to do so. We have to understand in a deep way that having what we truly want in life contributes to the general state of human happiness and supports others in creating more happiness for themselves.
वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू अंडरस्टैंड. हम अगर अपने लिए अच्छा सोच रहे हैं कि हम दुनिया का अच्छा सोच सकते हैं, कैन वी क्रिएट अ वर्ल्ड, इमेजिन अ लाइफ वेयर everything is wonderful, everything's prosperous, that everything's supportive, government, ministers, people. Can we start trusting the process of life? Can we start trusting people? अभी क्या सुना है हमने, नहीं सबको नहीं, ब्लाइंड आई से ट्रस्ट नहीं कर सकते. क्या हम बोले अपने आप को कि मैं जिसको भी ट्रस्ट करता हूँ ट्रस्ट वर्दी होता है, आई एम वेरी लकी? कैन वी स्टार्ट आवर न्यू एफर्मेशंस? कैन वी स्टार्ट लुकिंग एट द डीपर सिस्टम कि जो हम लाइफ में मिल रहा है, ह्यूमन हैप्पीनेस की एक चेन बन रही है. And when we support ourselves, when we are happy, and we can see the world happy, we're creating a prosperous future, not only for ourselves, but for the world to live in. That is what is beautiful. Yes, please, let's read.
To create prosperity, we need to visualize ourselves living as we desire to live, doing what we love, feeling satisfied with what we attain in a context of other people doing the same. In a spirit of fun, try this exercise to stimulate your imagination and expand your ability to visualize true prosperity.
I will be doing this meditation with the first one combined. So that will be all for today in a meditation, which Akshay can record because Shivani is not here. So we can conclude that. Thank you, Rahul sir, for showcasing this book. And now it's time for our Surya and Sun salutations. So let's go for it. And thereafter, Pratima ji, if you're okay to continue, that's great. If you're not, Akshay can take over, however you're comfortable. Yeah, you see your comfort. Thanks.
The Surya Namaskar with mantras. Om Mitraye Namaha. Om Ravaye Namaha. Om Suryaye Namaha. Om Bhanave Namaha. Om Khagaye Namaha. Om Pushne Namaha. Om Hiranyagarbhaye Namaha. Om Marichaye Namaha. Om Adityaye Namaha. Om Savitre Namaha. Om Arkaye Namaha. Om Bhaskaraye Namaha. Salutations to the universal friend. Salutations to the resplendent sun. Salutations to the energy that induces activity within us. Salutations to the one who illumines. Salutations to the sun moving across the sky. Salutations to the giver of strength. Salutations to the golden cosmic self. Salutations to the Lord of the dawn. Salutations to the son of Aditi, the cosmic mother. Salutations to the benevolent mother. Salutations to the energy that we praise, and to the one who guides us to salvation. The sun salutation now with the names of the postures, both in Sanskrit and English. Pranamasana, Hastuttanasana, Padahastasana, left leg back, Ashvasanchalanasana, Parvatasana, and hold this position, and now slowly progressing into the deeper version of Parvatasana, Adho Mukh Svanasana. Ashtang Namaskar, Bhujangasana, Parvatasana, left forward Ashvasanchalanasana, Padahastasana, Hastuttanasana, Pranamasana. On the right side, prayer position, raised arms pose, hand to feet pose, right leg back, equestrian pose, mountain pose, hold mountain pose, and slowly moving into the deeper version of mountain, the downward facing dog. Salute with 8 limbs, cobra, press back to mountain, Right forward, equestrian pose. Hand to feet pose. Raised arms position. Prayer pose. One round of the sun salutation with awareness on the breathing. So exhaling our hands to the chest, pranam. Inhaling as we bend back. We exhale as we fold forward. Left leg back, inhale as we're arching back. Exhale into the forward. Hold the breath for knees, chest, chin. Inhale as we arch back. Exhale into the forward. Left leg forward, inhale. This is a back bend. Exhale whenever we bend forward. Inhale as we bend back. Exhale, hands to the chest. And on the right, deep breathing, exhale. A deep inhale. A long exhale. Right leg back with an inhale. And exhale. Hold the breath. Inhale. And exhale. Right leg forward with a deep inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale.
Okay, so did everyone do the tapping yesterday, chapter number 15 with Margaret? Did you practice it? Because without practicing, it will not work. Very, very, very important to practice. If you do not practice, it doesn't work. So Akshay, today I'll request you to add Bharat in your group, because I had requested Alona, but she wasn't there in the session yesterday. So please add her, add him in the group. And now it's shifted to you, because I would like people to be active, whoever's adding people in the group. Yes. Please take the number from Rahul, so and become a buddy for him. Explain to him what we are doing in our journey, right? All right. I refuse to be rich. Yesterday, we finished one of our beautiful programming in tapping into wealth. Now it's very, very important for us to understand that where are we operating from? What are we realizing in our life? Are we a great receiver or not? Now, if you're a great receiver, why is it that wealth still doesn't come to me? What is my programming? Let's understand. So Pratima ji, will you want to read, or should I make Akshay read, or somebody else?
Yeah, Akshay can take it over.
Yeah, I thought
Thank
so.
you.
Thank you so much. Yes, Akshay. Please read. Chapter number 16, I refuse to be rich. Thank you.
Why would anyone refuse to be rich? Consciously, you probably believe you'd love to be rich. Think about suddenly earning double or triple your current income, or making millions. Would that be great? Not according to your subconscious mind. Throughout the book, I've discussed a multitude of reasons why your subconscious mind refuses to let you become wealthy or advance significantly beyond your current wealth set point. Until you clear them all, your subconscious will refuse to allow you to reach your high goals for income and success. This chapter reminds you of some blocks that might still be sticking around and helps you look for any remaining messages that subconsciously say, I refuse to be rich. Once you clear them, you'll be in a good place to change your financial picture for the better. Negative messages about being rich. Your subconscious is almost 85% of your mind, and its primary purpose is to keep you safe. Therefore, if it interprets being rich as unsafe, it will use all of its powers to protect you. If your subconscious mind believes it's dangerous to be wealthy, it will keep you poor, regardless of your income, your true value, or even your belief in your value. The exercises below will reveal how this may operate for you in a very personal way. Why would your subconscious mind believe it's not safe to be rich? Often it's filled with experiences and programs that conclude it's not. As discussed in chapter 5, early programming from your parents and family may fill you with messages about the evils of greed and money and the corruption and sinning of the rich. For example, the rich are arrogant, dishonest, and don't care about people. So can you please turn the page? Money corrupts even good people. Rich people think they're better than you and have problems you won't want. Did your early religious training set a tone for you? For how you view having lots of money? In some religions, there are messages that the rich are greedy, worship money, will kill or cheat for it, and will never get into heaven. In fact, many religious figures first gave away all their riches and lived as paupers to attain a higher level of spirituality. Catholic nuns and priests take a vow of poverty to serve God. Of course, it's not healthy to worship money and use people, but programming can give you beliefs that tend to be extreme. I've heard you can't be rich and spiritual. Money
You know
is
what? This sentence in itself is so wrong. If you're spiritual, you're going to be rich. Rich now is not something which is akin to, being spiritual. If you're spiritual, that means you're in the world of love and light. If you're in the world of love and light, everything flows automatically. You don't even have to ask for it, it'll just flow. So these are the paradigms, the conditioning that we're stuck with. Money is a false ideal. The rich worship money. Ab Lakshmi ji ki puja karna is not about just money, right? So for the Hindus who are believing in this, are you just doing puja for her because she's money? So just see where is your conditioning coming off. Now, if it's not true, why are you having your static energy? Better to be happy than rich. Who says rich is not happy? In fact, if you're richer, you're happier now. Depends upon how you perceive rich. Now, money से tension आ रही है कि money से freedom आ रही है. Depend करता है. Now, how is your perception? What is your perception about life, about people? कि लोगों के साथ पैसा आता है तो बहुत problems आती है, corruption आता है. Yeah, you can't earn honestly. You have to do some corruption. Are you hearing all of that and growing? What is your conditioning? Go inside and ask. Let's continue the chapter.
money is a false idol. The rich worship money. Better to be happy than rich. TV shows and movies often depict rich people, the bosses or business owners, as villains focused on using people for money. They seem idiotic, self centered, or odious. Rich characters in films hurt people to get what they want, ignoring their families or stepping on hard-working, honest people as they climb to the top. And we, the audience, enthusiastically root for their downfall and cheer when it comes. Some older TV shows in particular portrayed those with money or power as bumbling idiots or as aloof, arrogant, snobby, entitled, selfish, and materialistic. An example from my childhood is the Hobbles. The older couple, the older couple on Gilligan's Island, who were comical because they were as selfish, entitled, and self-important as they were, completely clueless and idiotic. You may not think about these associations consciously, but they come up when you see media coverage of rich people ripping off those with much less income or committing a crime, adding to their negative image. The negativity increases if the person gets away with it, as when corrupt executives get caught but still live in the lap of luxury or get furred with multi-million dollar bonuses or severance packages. Or you see Donald Trump or Paris Hilton, those types that spend ridiculous amounts of money on the large excesses, like gold toilets or diamond jewelry for their dogs, while you can't afford even a cheap car or a vacation. Your subconscious mind records all this, along with your parents' negative beliefs about being rich.
Very fast. अगर आप कुछ सामान नहीं खरीदते by saying, यार ये तो worth it ही नहीं है. We are wasting tons of money in this. Or we can't afford this, flying business class because it's double the money. That means you're depriving yourself of something. The more you spend, the more you get. Try करके देखो and you will find that in abundance. Just that reset your mind. That, I deserve it. I can afford it. Money comes to me very easily. Very, very, very important to understand that if we become spenders, we get money very, very easily. It may be seeming far-fetched, but our mind makes a mental image of what we really want. And that's when the mental image comes true, because it comes in the form of actuality. Then when you have to become wealthy, and if you have any kind of setting, it will come true. But if you're like emotionally at pain and at loss, oh no, I can't afford it. No, no, it's too much, then you will never get it. So Akshay, please read from You May Believe.
Believe You may believe that if you get rich, your friends and family will treat you very differently or be suspicious, jealous, uncomfortable, or nasty. They may even seem to wish for your downfall. The subconscious mind can find many reasons for why you should never become rich. Your most deeply wired and primitive survival instinct may believe you're safer and will survive better if you refuse wealth. This needs to be rewired if you want to successfully create a new wealth reality. This kind of programming even overrides consciously, knowing there are philanthropists and other wealthy people who do lots of good. Many people recall money causing problems in their family, arguing, worry, stress over how it should be saved or spent. Think about the paradigm work you did in chapter 5. As a child, were you caught in the battles around money? Or maybe you had a bit more than friends growing up and felt different or guilty about it. The messages in your subconscious may be loud and clear.
So very important for us to understand what are we operating from. बचपन में पेरेंट्स या आसपास मनी को लेकर क्या था? That will also be working on your mentality now. Were you always struggling? Were you told कि नहीं इतना पैसा कमाएंगे तो तुम्हारे लिए करेंगे? तुमको भी लगेगा कि I have to earn so much to do so much. Money is equal to anger or conflict or guilt. That's our conditioning. But the good news is, बचपन में जो भी conditioning हुई है, that can be changed. Why? Once you understand, okay, this was my programming, and I need to let this feeling go. I surrender this feeling and I no longer have purpose of this feeling. And then you start affirmations again, tapping. You will realize there's a huge shift in your thinking. Now let's understand this further.
When money brings up memories of conflict, you'll find ways to avoid or get rid of it. Another side of this is if a parent used money or what it can buy to make up for what they couldn't give in time, attention, or affection. If you experienced money equaling love, a host of strange habits and reactions around money and overspending can be triggered.
This is why कई बिगड़ैल रईस होते हैं. क्यों होते हैं? पेरेंट्स को या फादर को टाइम नहीं है बच्चों के लिए. अब वो काम कर रहे हैं, रिच अर्न कर रहे हैं, वो बच्चों को इक्वेट करना चाह रहे हैं कि my loss of time is because I'm earning for you, and then they give them all that they want. उन बच्चों को पैसे की वैल्यू नहीं होती, and that's when overspending, over binging, over indulgence is triggered, and that is when you're spoiling their life, and that could be you or that could be anyone you know. Now let's understand the very first fact in today's chapter. The money shadow. किस type की money shadow में हम live कर रहे हैं? Money shadow number 1. So let's go for it.
If you want to substantially increase your wealth, it's critically important to clear any lingering negative associations with being wealthy and to free yourself from unconscious habits that sabotage your wealth and savings goals, even if you don't think these issues relate to you. If you believe you love rich people and can't wait to be rich, try the exercises anyway. Often, clients who don't believe this would apply to them are amazed by the programming they find by doing one. To find your programming and get a baseline for its emotional intensity, do 2 exercises using what I call the money shadow. This is the dark side to money and people who have it. The money shadow reflects all your negative beliefs about being wealthy and all the actions, attitudes, and focus you think are required to amass wealth. In this first exercise, you'll step into the shoes of the money shadow to see how your subconscious resistance to wealth drives you to survive and avoid pain by staying within your tribe's beliefs. Should I read the exercise?
Yeah, let me take it from. So remember, we all had visualized about a money paradigm. कि money paradigm कहाँ से आया था? So now I want everyone to close their eyes. Let's close our eyes. And let's take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath in, inhale. And as you're exhaling, bring up that little image of you when you were 5, 6, or 7 years old. Now, आपके parents या आपके caregivers, they are talking around you about how they feel about money and wealth. ये picture हमारे साथ should come in a very nice fashion, very easily. So don't make too much of effort. कुछ आ रहा है तो fabulous, नहीं आ रहा है तो it's okay. Now imagine stepping out of this picture. अब वो 5, 6, 7 साल का बच्चा पिक्चर में है और आप एज एन अडल्ट बाहर आके खड़े. नाउ व्हाट आर यू डूइंग? आपके चाइल्डहुड के जो पेरेंट्स हैं वो बड़े भी हो गए, दे अचीव देयर गोल्स आल्सो, इनकम के भी, आवर्स के भी. आप एक्सपेंसिव कपड़ों में ड्रेस्ड हो, ब्रांडेड क्लोथिंग में ड्रेस्ड हो, एंड आपके पास ब्रांडेड शॉपिंग बैग्स हैं, एंड यू वेरी रिलैक्स्ड, यू वेरी काम, यू वेरी हैप्पी. आपने एक मसाज में भी अपने आप को इंडल्ज किया है. And now you've met your parents, you're telling your parents of how the past was. कैसे आपको समझ में आ रहा है? आप उनको बता रहे हो कि okay, this is the conditioning that I had of how many hours, I have to work to earn that much. आप उनको ये भी बता रहे हो कि आपने इतना मनी स्पेंड किया या इतना मनी सेव किया. और उनकी ना आंखों में ग्लीम है, ग्लिमर है, हैप्पीनेस है, ग्लिटर है कि वाओ, मेरे बच्चे ने इतना पैसा सेव भी किया और इतना पैसा स्पेंड भी किया. अब आप उनको ये बताने वाले हो कि मॉम डैड ये तो कुछ भी नहीं है, आप तो नेक्स्ट लेवल है, मैं ऊपर ही ऊपर जाने वाला हूँ. एंड जब आपकी कॉन्वर्सेशन खत्म होती है, आपकी शोफर ड्रिवन लिमोजिन कार आपके पास आ रही है. वहां आपका अटेंडेंट भी है, ड्राइवर छोड़ के अटेंडेंट भी है, आपका एग्जीक्यूटिव असिस्टेंट भी है जो आपके दरवाजा खोल रहा है. और अब आप बोल रहे हो कि डैड मॉम, आई एम गोइंग टू गो फॉर अ ह्यूज हॉलिडे, चॉपर से जा रहा हूँ, आई हैव माय ओन चॉपर, आई हैव माय ओन आइलैंड. अब आप देखो, हाउ आर यू फीलिंग? बचपन में जो हुआ वो एक सीन आया नहीं आया पता नहीं. अब आज असलियत में आप बाहर आके उस ड्रीम से अपने पेरेंट्स को बता रहे हो कि दिस इज हु आई एम. वैसे असलियत में होने वाला है कि नहीं, वी डोंट नो, बट इस एक्सरसाइज से अंडरस्टैंड कि डीपेस्ट प्रोग्रामिंग कैसी है. क्या आपने रेजिस्ट किया उनको बताने में कि आपके पास इतना पैसा है, या आपने बहुत इजीली बता दिया? अगर आपने इजीली बता दिया तो इसका मतलब आपकी टैपिंग वर्क कर रही है, पर अगर आपने रेजिस्ट किया इसका मतलब आपको और टैपिंग करनी है. Now very gradually you can just smile and you can open your eyes. It was a very short exercise. Just understand that we are all living in some kind of a money shadow. Black and white है क्या है, we don't know. Programming क्या है, we don't know. What we have to know is कि उसमें पेन आ रहा है, uncomfortable vibes आ रही हैं, या हम एक्सेप्ट करके मूव ऑन कर पा रहे हैं. क्या हम अपने आप को विक्टिम मोड पे लेकर आ रहे हैं कि मेरे पेरेंट्स ने ये किया मेरे साथ, सोसाइटी ने ये किया? क्या हम जज करें, डिसअप्रूव करें कि उनकी पेरेंटिंग सही नहीं थी, तरीका सही नहीं था, या हम अपने आप को एम्पावर्ड फील कर रहे हैं? राहुल सर, प्लीज टर्न द पेज. सो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कि हमारे जो इमोशंस आए हमें करने में, दैट इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर अस टू अंडरस्टैंड कि रेजिस्टेंस है कि फ्लो आ रहा है. सो अगर रेजिस्टेंस है, सो वी नीड टू वर्क ऑन दैट. That's okay, Akshay. This was about your parents because parents are your source relationships. So if you're comfortable telling them, मतलब कहीं ना कहीं you have arrived with the fact that money is something I deserve to earn. So अब abundance ज़्यादा आएगी because आपकी प्रोग्रामिंग धीरे सेट हो रही है. अगर आप अनकंफर्टेबल होते हैं उनको बताने में, तो इसको मतलब आपको और टैप करना पड़ता. कल हम इस चैप्टर को फर्दर ले जाएंगे and we will understand our emotions attached with money. Our emotions with what we are. And those of you who could not remember a scene, try again. Practice, practice, practice until you succeed. So Rahul sir, thank you for showcasing this book. Tomorrow we'll start from the same page again. Very important for us to come out of our shadows. कुछ shadow था, कुछ darkness थी जब हम छोटे थे. उसको clear off करना हमारे हाथ में. Nobody will come and do it for us. We have to work internally. Yes, these beautiful books are coming to us to help us, right? बट काम तो हमें करना पड़ेगा. अब नेहा का काम मीनाक्षी नहीं कर सकती, मीनाक्षी काम अक्षय नहीं कर सकता. Obviously they have to do their own work. So get aligned with that particular fact. Now our last book for the day, I mean not second last book, is about creative thinking. So हम revolutionary कैसे बन जाएं या conservative revolutionary कैसे बन जाएं and क्यों बनना चाहिए, let's understand. Akshay, over to you once again.
Be a conservative revolutionary. An elegant model strutted down the catwalk in high heels. She wore a gracefully tailored white cotton muslin dress with synthetic tulle underskirt. The audience contained the fashion world's most elite representatives. They were stunned when, halfway down the catwalk, the model was attacked from both sides. Colored paint was sprayed across her dress in overlapping streaks. The model's face was spattered and paint dribbled down her dress onto the floor. Why? It was all staged by the enfant terrible of fashion design, Alexander McQueen, for his spring summer collection. The audience literally screamed their ovation and dress. Number 13, Spring or Summer 1999, is now a fashion icon. It's important not to do the same old things in the same old way, but to push them to the limit and see what happens if you are excessive. For decades, models had strutted up and down the catwalks of Paris and Milan, parading the season's new fashions. It was the convention. Alexander McQueen smashed those expectations. McQueen was the most iconic and celebrated fashion designer of the 1990s. His mesmerizing outfits and otherworldly designs became instant classics. McQueen amplified his abilities with dramatic catwalk shows that transformed fashion shows into performance art. Instead of simply marching models up and down a catwalk, McQueen's shows were sensational events. Not content with being the greatest fashion designer of his time, he wanted a wider audience. He wanted everyone to notice, not just the fashion world. McQueen drew attention to his phenomenal tailoring skills and unique design concepts with provocative catwalk shows. He thought big. He ignored practicalities. No matter how outrageous his vision or however small a budget, it was always realized. Rain pouring onto the catwalk, wolves terrorizing the audience, fire leaping from the floor, models ice skating, models as enthralled holograms in glass pyramids, recreations of shipwrecks and mental asylums.
1 second. So now, do you read what all he's doing for the fashion show?
Mhm.
Ethereal holograms, glass pyramids में अंदर fires आ रही है, ice skating आ रही है. Is he in the box? Or is he revolutionizing the whole culture of ramp walk? His fashion garments? Is he creating an experience of only seeing his outfits, showcasing his outfits, or creating an audience, like an entire show for an audience? So if we become revolutionary, if we think out of the box, we can create life beautifully. Do you see? He thought big. He ignored practicalities. लॉजिक और मैजिक साथ में नहीं काम करता, हमने कई बार सुना है. No matter how outrageous our vision is, no matter how big or small our budget is, अगर हमने मैनिफेस्ट किया है और हम बिलीव करते हैं, वो होगा ही होगा. Yes, so we very important for us to think differently. जो किसी ने नहीं सोचा वो हम सोचे, right? All right, let's read further.
So can you turn the page? Yeah. He raised the bar on what fashion shows could be. He turned them into unmissable events. The American painter Mark Rothko was similarly excessive. His first one-man exhibition in New York was of portraits of his friends. They were ordinary, so he began to push painting to the limit. He put all his efforts into what he was good at: shape, color, and composition. His paintings became more and more abstract. Eventually, he and the other abstract expressionists started producing paintings that were entirely abstract, an expression of pure feeling and nothing more. Until then, paintings had always been based on something in the real world. Rothko developed paintings based on the rectangular blocks of 2 to 3 complementary colors. The blocks vibrate and resonate against the surrounding area. The monumental canvases overwhelm and completely envelop the viewer. His paintings express basic human emotions: tragedy, ecstasy, and doom. Many observers find viewing his paintings such a moving experience, they weep when standing in front of them. Viewers describe feeling something close to the deep spiritual experience Rothko claimed to have while painting them. Rothko, who became one of the most important abstract expressionists, found the thing he was good at simply by being as excessive as possible. Many people never connect with the real talents and fail to attain their potential because they don't push what they do to excess. Creativity is like mining. We need to dig deep to discover and uncover ourselves. Whatever your field, look at the systems you work within and see what happens if you are excessive. It will make your work stand out and remind you that one person who is prepared to be excessive can achieve more in an hour than 50 reasonable people can achieve in a year.
Very important to understand this particular fact that if we are ready to extend our self expertise without thinking, without fearing, we can have a much more productive hour than anybody else in the world can. Do we believe in ourselves? Do we believe the divine is guiding us? Do we believe that we can come up with radical ideas, something which is not thought of, never heard, and never done, and we can create a success out of it? Who knows tomorrow which one of us is sitting on startups and coming up with creative thinking? Let's understand. All of us are creative. All of us are artists. All of us are born like that. We have an empty easel in front of us, an empty canvas sitting on top of that. And we have a lot of paints every day possible, all kind of mediums. How you want to splash the paint, how you want to paint your life depends upon you. What is it that you are tuned in towards? T.S. Eliot says, if you aren't in over your head, how do you know how tall you are? Very, very important to understand. Yes, Rahul. So that will be it for today. Now we'll move on to a hard thought. Let's become absolute revolutionaries, new ideas, new brains. Why do you think the business houses survive where the new generation comes and they add their own ideas vis-a-vis somebody who's going in the typical line, not reinventing themselves with the new modern times? What worked for your company 20 years ago when you were on the peak of it, that will not work now also. Time is only constant. Become revolution thinkers. क्या होगा worst to worst? For profit down होगा, नहीं आ पाएगा. So what? Become a person who's a better version of yourself, somebody who's experimental. Who would like to read? Can you please raise your hand? I'm very, again, I'm not surprised. We're talking about abundance and not to have limitations. And here we are on a chapter talking to us about limitations. Akshay wants to read again. Wonderful. So it's about limitations. If all of us are realizing that where we are coming from, we will realize there's so much coming in our life. So if you have been a very negative person, criticizes yourself and everyone else and sees life through very negative eyes, mind you, most of us are like this. Abhi bhi, after 8-9 months of studies, yes, we've had a shift, but the critic in us hasn't completely faded. It's time for us to start turning around and becoming more loving. Remember, it's never too late. We need to be patient with ourselves. Don't get angry with yourself because you're not doing it fast enough. It's okay. Trust the process of life. Today's affirmation is beautiful. I declare richness and fullness for my life. And yes, Akshay, now you can read.
I now choose to move away from the limiting beliefs that have been denying me the benefits I so desire. I declare that every negative thought pattern in my consciousness is now being cleared out, erased, and let go. My consciousness is now being filled with cheerful, positive, loving thought patterns that contribute to my health, wealth, and loving relationships. I now release all negative thought patterns that have contributed to fear of loss, fear of the dark, fear of being harmed, fear of poverty, pain, loneliness, self-abuse of any sort, feeling not good enough, burdens or losses of any sort, and any other nonsense that may be lingering in some dark corner of my consciousness. I'm now free to allow and accept the good to manifest in my life. I now declare for myself the richness and fullness of life in all its profuse abundance, love lavishly flowing prosperity, abounding, health vital and vibrant, creativity ever new and fresh, and peace all surrounding. All this I deserve and I'm now willing to accept and have on a permanent basis. I'm a co-creator with the one infinite allness of life and therefore the totality of possibilities lie before me, and I rejoice that this is so, and so it is.
Rahul, so let's stay on this. Akshay, thank you for reading so beautifully the chapters as well as the heart thought. Pratima ji, thank you for reading the creative visualization for half hour for all of us. Really grateful to all of you. Thank you for being my voice. So very important for us to realize Hamari consciousness. What is a consciousness? Can anyone tell me? Quickly, what is a consciousness? What are we conscious about? Today, everyone's sleeping, yeah? Winter mode awareness. Thank you, Amit. So consciousness is, thank you, Akshay. Thank you. Consciousness is equal to awareness. हम किसके लिए conscious हैं? हम किस बात से aware हैं? अगर हम aware हो जाते हैं कि we are who we are, that is when we can make a shift. That is when we can change ourselves. That's when negative thought patterns can be replaced. Look, all of us operate from negative thought patterns. All of us. डर होता है, ये नहीं होगा तो क्या, अपने आप को जज करते हैं, ये मैं ऐसा कर रहा हूँ या मैं ऐसा कर रही हूँ, क्यों कर रही हूँ, नहीं समझ में आ रहा. सेल्फ अब्यूज करें. सेल्फ अब्यूज कैसे करते हैं? By over drinking, overeating, या over binging any sorts. Even Netflix over binge is also self abuse. या feeling कि I'm not good enough, या losses है, burdens है, या नहीं मन में fire है, हम judge कर रहे हैं अपने आप को. Very, very, very important to understand that let's accept where we are, how we are, go for some. We don't curse ourselves. That's a very strong statement to say. A curse is baddua. We don't do that for ourselves. Na, itna to we love ourselves. We don't do that. But we are ridiculing ourselves, criticizing ourselves. So let's declare for ourselves that, we can have a real full life. All right. So thank you so much, Rahul sir, for showcasing these books. Now, everyone, you can become comfortable. If you have a bed, you want to lie down, go for it. You want to just relax, go for it. You don't have to be attentive. Just relax, leave your body. And Akshay, please record the meditation. Is that okay? Sir, you have to make him the co-host. I think he had made you the co-host when you became a reader. You are the co-host. Just see the options coming. So very important for all of us to relax today. Akshay, are we good? Perfect. So everyone, let's become comfortable, very comfortable. You want to rest your neck, you want to rest your body. However, just become comfortable. Relax absolutely, completely. Shake your feet a bit. Let all the tension drain out. Shake your legs a bit. Feel the tension draining. Shake your body a bit and just relax yourself. Your arms a bit. Anything in your neck, just relax. Relax. Let all your tension drain out of your body from your mind. Breathe deeply and slowly. Relax and breathe. Relax more and more and more. Now, visualize a light within your heart, glowing, radiant, and warm. Feel it spreading and growing, shining out from you, farther and farther, until you're like a golden sun of light, radiating loving energy on everything and everyone around you. You are light, so bright. Whoever's come in contact with you is brightly lit. Your light is shining. Say to yourselves very silently and with conviction, divine light and divine love are flowing through me and radiating from me to everything around me. The divine light and the divine love are always there for me. Keep saying this until you really feel protected and you have own sense of spiritual energy. When you start having some movement in your body, the light is flowing in you. Is it cascading down your body? Are you feeling the beautiful energy of the light? You could also use some affirmations in order to create our own inner light. We can say, God is working through me now. I am filled with creative energy. The light within me is creating miracles in my life, here and now. The universe is unfolding perfectly for me now. More doors are opening for me, more opportunities are coming for me. I am relaxing. I am letting go. I am whole and complete. The divine love is guiding me, and I'm always taken care of. The universe always provides me. Spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, intellectually, I am growing how much ever is required for me. There's a lot more for everyone to enjoy. I live in an abundant world where there's abundance everywhere. People who I compete with are doing very well, and I am also doing very, very well. The society is conducive to my learning, my growth. I find the society is a reflection of me. If I think they're judgmental, that means I am judgmental. If I think they're supportive, that means I am supportive. Now that you've relaxed so much, picture yourself in any lovely natural environment. It could be open green meadows. It could be a garden. It could be a farm side, a brook. It could be white sand. It could be the normal golden sand. Whether you're in Goa or whether you are in a countryside depends upon you. Now take some time to imagine all the beautiful things around you. See yourself fully enjoying and appreciating your surroundings. Maybe the dabwala is there, you expressing your thank you for the water that you're drinking. Maybe those beautiful grass that you're walking on, you're complimenting. Now just, if you're lying down, in your image, why don't you get up and start walking on the beautiful green, luscious grass? And soon find yourself traveling, walking to an absolute different environment. Now probably you're in the middle of, fields where there's a lot of grains are growing. Could be corn, could be gehu, any kind of grains are growing. Or maybe you're swimming in the lake. Anything that you like. Continue to wander and explore, finding with every moment more and more exquisitely beautiful environments of great variety. Mountains, forests, deserts, whatever suits your fantasy. Take a little time to appreciate each one. Now imagine returning home to a simple but absolutely comfortable and loving environment. Whatever you like, whoever you like to see. Imagine having loving family, friends, community around you. Visualize yourself doing something that you love to do, your work. Visualize yourself expressing yourself creatively in ways that just feel right for you. You're simply amply rewarded for your actions and efforts. जो भी आप करते हैं उसका रिवॉर्ड मिलता है, अवार्ड मिलता है, पैसा मिलता है, recognition मिलती है. You're feeling so eternally and internally satisfied. When you're getting appreciation from others, you're like, oh, wow, I deserve this. It's beautiful. What you're getting back is a lot of financial return, abundance, prosperity. Imagine yourself being fulfilled and thoroughly enjoying your life. Step back a bit and see if you can imagine a world full of people living simply yet abundantly, in harmony with one another and with everyone on Mother Earth. Let's affirm, I find prosperity in simplicity. This is an abundant universe and there's plenty for all of us. God is the unfailing, unlimited source of all my supply. Abundance is my true state of being. I am now ready to accept it fully and joyously. I deserve to be prosperous and happy. I am prosperous and happy now. The more I prosper, the more I have to share with everyone else. I am now ready to accept all the joy and prosperity life has to offer me. The world is absolutely abundant for everyone now. Financial success is coming to me now. Life is fun and I'm really enjoying it. I'm rich in my consciousness and my manifestation. Whatever I desire comes true because I believe in it. And I always surrender by saying this or something higher is better will unfold for me and for the highest good of all concerned. I have so much of money that I do not know what to do with it. And the feeling is amazing. I'm deeply satisfied with my financial situation. I feel rich, well, and happy. This is who I am, whole and complete. Now you can make yourself a little more comfortable. Rub your hands a bit. All the energy that you felt right now, bless yourself with that beautiful energy. Bless your face. May we see better, hear better, speak better, smell better, feel better. Touch your head. Dear wonderful brain, conscious, subconscious mind. Thank you for reprogramming, restructuring, unlearning, and learning. Thank you for becoming a better version of me. Touch your heart. Bless it and say thank you for growing more and more each day. We believe in magics. We believe in love. We believe in light. Dear heart, you're a golden heart right now, spreading your luminosity in every possible being. Touch your backside with a quick whiff up to bottom and your front side bottom to up. Again, let's fold our hands. Let's be thankful for everything, for our life. Now open your hands towards the universe. Dearest universe, thank you for having our back. Thank you for giving us the conviction that we can be the change by creating the life that we want. Thank you, thank you, thank you for all the guidance, for all the security, for all the learnings from this realm or the others. Expand your angel heart. I am love. I am light. I'm open and I'm receptive to all the love and abundance from all universes. I'm willing to change. I love and accept myself the way I am without judging. This is my superpower. Let's fold our hands once more. Let's bless and thank our wonderful body for working on the optimal best. Let's thank our energy around us, within us. And let's share our energy, our love, our light, our blessings and abundance for every Sanghamitra, their loved one, and all beings on Mother Earth. May everyone prosper. Ruchi, Pratimaji, Ritu, Bharat, Akshay, Anita Sheikh, Amit, Alona, Nikita, Pinaji, Jitendraji, Vijayji, Yanji, Ushaji, Surendraji, Meenakshi, Manisha, Kamakshi, Neha, Rahul sir, Amrita ma'am, Ankur, and to all our virtual participants and to all sentient beings. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Lots of love and light to everyone. I'm just going through a little cold patch, so I'm not going to be able to talk too much. I've overdone my bit in the morning, so I'll see you tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Until then, if there are any questions, you can always email me or even ask me on WhatsApp on the group.
Yeah, I would like to know what should this meditation be named?
Feel good, I think. Yeah.
Okay,
Or maybe energy, raising the energy bar.
all right.
Thank you, Akshay. Lots of love. Thank you, darling. God bless us all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, Aluna, I'm happy to have you back. Just today named you and yesterday as well. Happy to see you back. Lots of love.